Hi, this is Brock Meyer. Just want to share a word of encouragement with you today. Sometimes we go through seasons of tremendous loss and hardship. And what hits the spirit is this grieving sort of loss and this ache down deep inside of us. Perhaps as a farmer, you've seen your fields completely flooded. Maybe as a parent, you've seen a child so sick, or even you've seen a child pass. Perhaps you were raised as a child and your parents were already gone. There's been mega hardship that we've all had to walk through at some point in time. Even here inside of our community in Fairmount, we've seen the loss of 2 young lives that have ended way too early, and seen the parents now walk through the heaviness of that hardship. There's an ache down deep. Just ask this question: is the Christian immune to grief? And is the church a group of people that are set aside to where we never have to go through hardship? The answer is a resounding no. We're not immune and we're not set apart from that. Actually, when we read through the scriptures, we see time and time again, story after story of people that walked through the hardest of times. We see a great illustration in the Bible with the life of Job. Job is this one who is loaded. He's got cattle and sheep and oxen. He's got land. He's got all of these fields that are full of grain and bins and barns. He's got houses. He's got 10 kids, 7 sons and 3 daughters. And one day, this intense windstorm comes blowing through and knocks over the house that his children are in. All 10 kids are dead. If you've ever lost someone that you love, imagine Job's pain magnified by 10 is what happens to him. And then he loses his entire business and everything that would have provided for his lifestyle. We see the grieving process that Job goes through. There's times whenever he's wrestling through. He's even angry at God. Where are you, God? There's times whenever he just grieves and mourns. He literally is sitting on the ash heap of his life. As it says, there's rubble left over, and he sits upon it. And he refused to eat, and he refused to drink. He wouldn't sleep. There's times when we grieve, even to our own hurt. Our bodies are completely depleted, and we want no comfort. And that's where we find Job. He's sitting on what's left of his life. He now has this sickness and disease on his skin. It says that he's taking broken pieces of pottery, and he's scraping the boils off of his skin. His friends travel from afar, and he has friends that come in to talk and to meet and to grieve with him, and they just sat with him and they listened. There's times when we grieve, and one of the best things we can do is just talk and talk and talk some more. We need to share about the good memories. We need to share about some of the sad memories, and also find a place to put that person or that situation in our life as we move forward. Also, there was another person who was grieving, and it's Job's wife. She also loses someone. And she encourages Job, you ought to just curse God and die. This isn't worth it. We're going to roll out of here. And so Job also has to lead his wife and some others through the grieving process. To give yourself fully to grief is healthy. We don't want to be people who just push it down and push it away and say, oh, that didn't happen to me. It wasn't that big of a deal. We need to fully feel it and sit in it for a minute. Somebody else is the Mother Mary, the mother of Jesus. She watches her son be beaten in public and stripped naked and paraded through the city. And then she watches the murder, not just that her child was murdered, but she watches the murder of her child, while everyone else standing around celebrates this murder. You can imagine the pain and the grief that she had to walk through for years to come. I'll tell you this, we all walk through different things in life. And maybe you're sitting there, perhaps a single parent, and you're sitting there at that kitchen table and the bills are mounting, and you're thinking, there's just not enough to make it this week or this month. I just want to cast this picture. You're sitting at this table. It's a dark room. You're thinking, how's this thing going to add up? You just got that phone call. You just got that bad news. And then Jesus walks into the room. And what does Jesus bring with him when he shows up on the scene? Jesus comes in and meets us in a place of compassion. He sits with us right where we are. He connects with our hearts. But I believe this. I believe that Jesus comes in and he brings hope. We can make it. You got what it takes. I'm more than enough. I will provide. I can make a way where it seems like there is no way. I can open doors that no man can shut. I can shut doors that no man can open. I can do a supernatural work in your life. And he comes in and he's able to bust us through whatever hardship we go through. I want to encourage you today that there is hope. He's the lighthouse of hope. And to encourage Jesus to come in to the scene of where you're at. The story goes that the farmer and his wife had just seen this storm blow through and tear up all of their crops. The next morning, they wake up to see their fields flooded. They got to get to work. So as they're heading out to the barn, instead of getting to work and hopping in the tractor, they grab 2 chairs. And they just set the chairs out. And they're sitting, watching the sunrise. They look over their land, their property, over all their equipment, things that the Lord has blessed them with. They look at their kids playing, and all of a sudden, gratitude hits their heart. And they stand up, and they begin to worship. And as the tears come down, their hands go up, and they begin to celebrate and to worship Jesus, even in the midst of the suffering. I want to tell you this, the more that you can focus on the Lord, instead of focusing on the loss, the more your heart can move down this place that's going to bring great health for your future. There is a way. There is a better way. And that way, through grief and through loss and through hardship, is through the power of Jesus Christ. I want to encourage you with that today. I'm praying for you. And whatever you're going through, God is big enough. Find some people to share your story that can come in, that can love on you, encourage you, connect with you, pray with you, and we believe that Jesus will have the final say-so in the end of your story. I'm cheering for you. Let's go get him.